My name is Chris Thompson. I am the founder of Sober Sidekick, and I am incredibly grateful to be here today. In fact, I shouldn't be here. Had the right people not shown up for me at the right time, I would not be alive. And I want to ask you today if you can remember a time where you felt lost, where you felt hopeless, where you felt alone. And can you remember the people who helped you reach the other side? I invite you to embrace those memories right now. Well, I will never, ever forget who those people were for me. And their names were Bill, Dan, and Aaron. And Thanksgiving Day 2018, they met me in hell. I'm a chronic alcoholic, chronic addict. And for years of my life, I was trapped. I couldn't get out. I didn't know how to get out. And Thanksgiving Day 2018, Bill and Aaron met me where I was at and changed the course of my life forever. Now, Bill, Aaron, and Dan were not mental health professionals. They were just regular people. In fact, they were addicts, alcoholics, who many might look down on. But they had built their life around empathy in a way where I knew I had to emulate that to survive. Bill and Aaron would pick me up and drive me all over LA to meetings every single day of the week. Dan would meet me after work, after his day job, and work the 12 steps with me, often until midnight. And one day I said thank you to Dan, and his response always stuck with me, which was, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for me. Supporting you in your recovery is part of what keeps me on track with my own recovery. And it was through these experiences where I began to believe that empathy might be my own most untapped resource. See, Bill, Dan, and Aaron were succeeding in their life, building comeback stories as a result of supporting others. So I asked myself, what can I do to create more space for empathy in this world? And with very limited technology experience, I had an app idea and I set out to build it. And the core premise of this platform is this is a we platform with empathy, without ego. The same way Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok harness our egos for engagement and retention, we harnessed empathy. And what that meant was within this platform, the more support you gave to your community, the more support you would algorithmically receive. And in order to receive support within this community, you first had to give support to someone else. And as a result, when we launched a very, very basic, poorly designed MVP in January of 2019, since that day, no member ever went without support. So this means a single mom who works two jobs, writes a post at 2 in the morning because she's alone, she's lost, she's hopeless. Within minutes, if not seconds, her community reaches out and supports her. And as a result of betting on people, me and our team with limited resources, limited marketing budget, $0 to invest in this, we're able to grow this platform to 75,000 members before I had the resources to move out of the halfway house. And as we bet on people, we saw the power. We saw individuals download this app on day one of their recovery journey. And a month later, they're giving support to 50 people a day. And they're doing this for themselves and their own comeback story. And members, we added features to encourage members. They can see their butterfly effect. You supported 5 members who went out and supported 100 more this week. And they've been sober for a combined 1,000 days. And as we showed the individual their power, they did things that we never could imagine. And today we have hundreds of members who have given support over 10,000 times. And one of them has been sober for less than a year herself. Now, we had to think about how can we make this sustainable? We can only get this so far on our own. We need investors, we need capital. And we thought we could maybe integrate what we built around empathy into our current US healthcare system. And a little bit about the US healthcare system: 40 million Americans are chronically battling addiction, and 1 in 7 receives help. But of the 1 in 7 who receives help, they are repeating treatment 7 times. They're repeating stays in hospitals 7 times. And what we realized and what we learned the hard way is that the rehabs have no incentive to reduce those relapse rates. In fact, that is the best source of revenue. And there have been human trafficking laws written in the US specifically for rehabs in the US who are capitalizing off of these horrible incentives. And as we grew our platform and as rehabs were supporting our platform through marketing budgets, we realized we had to make a choice. And that choice today is the subject of a Harvard case study. We realized that we could no longer scale our work with rehabs and stay true to our mission, stay true to empathy. And with no investors, we had an investor tell us they'd be willing to lead our round if we were willing to scale this model that is proven to work. And we made the decision, which is the subject of a Harvard case study, that we are going to bet on the people because we believe that empathy is the world's most untapped resource. So we burned the boats, started over. And what we found was that we made the right decision. A few months ago, we were discovered that we are the fastest growing app in North America by daily active users, according to Amplitude, as a result of betting on people. Our team is 5 people, yet this platform is what we believe to be the most epic wave of real life comeback stories the world will ever see. Now, one of the reasons I believe that empathy is not a part of our healthcare system, is not a part of our governments, is because it's not measurable. That's what we believe. Empathy is not measurable. But what we have proven with Sober Sidekick is that empathy is not only the most untapped resource in the world, but it is measurable. And over the last 12 months, we have tracked the sobriety journeys of over 100,000 people. More self-reported relapse data than any healthcare clinic in the US, any research institution. And the biggest theme we have seen with our members, when we look at horizontally the rate of monthly relapse within our platform, those who have given support and received support 0 times are relapsing at a 20% rate. But once someone engages with their peers once on a monthly basis, their rate of relapse goes down from 21 point something percent to 10%. And the more support they give, the lower their rate of relapse becomes. So what this proves is that empathy and what you give is truly more important to your own well-being than what you receive. And what our members have learned and discovered is that they themselves, chronic alcoholics and addicts, they themselves are the world's most untapped resource. And as I look around this room today, as I imagine who might be listening to this one day, I'd like to invite you to look inwards. Maybe the empathy within yourself right now is our world's most untapped resource. And I want to remind everyone, we are all going to die one day. Please don't die wishing you had had more empathy within your heart. Thank you so much for your time.